And we're live from Morgantown, West Virginia. Quinn Kuski here. I've got one of the captains of West Virginia hockey, Wyatt Murphy, out here with me, and we are underway in Morgantown as West Virginia takes on RIT. The Tigers coming out with a full head of steam, immediately entering the offensive zone, and they send it around the boards. It is controlled around behind, right past the stick of Gukin, and the Tigers continue to possess the puck right behind Huff. The puck comes out in front, out to the point, controlled by the Tigers. They send it around far corner, and it's controlled around behind by RIT once more. Gukin pressuring, trying to fight off a double team of Tigers, and the Tigers remain in possession. There, a shot through traffic doesn't find its way on frame, and now it's to the stick of Hedges. He dumps it off to Gukin, and West Virginia has possession. That pass almost turned over, now picked up by Virenway and up to Judas, and Judas dumps it around the boards. Now the puck controlled by the Tigers. They have it, and they send it up through center ice where it's picked back up by West Virginia in the form of Morris. Now it's dumped in by Evans, and around behind it goes. Sitting around behind are the Tigers. Now the Tigers looking to break out of their own defensive end. They control it at center, and now it's picked off by Morris. Tigers take it back momentarily, and it goes down to Barrows for West Virginia in his defensive end. He tries a bank pass and connects with Avalone. Avalone takes a shot, and that one gets blocked off, not getting through. Now picked up at the point momentarily by West Virginia, and it comes back out to the Mountaineer defensive end where Barrows possesses. Barrows swings it over for Evans. Evans controls, and now it's sent ahead for Avalone. Avalone swings it along for Ventura, and Ventura dumps it into the zone where the Tigers gain possession. Now it's picked off by Ventura, out in front for Evans, and his shot deflects up into the glass. Now controlled around behind by West Virginia. A dangerous hit into the boards, no call there. And RIT gains possession, and the Tigers accelerate through center ice and into the offensive zone. Now they possess it, working their way through the slot. No shot lane as it's closed off by Morris, and it comes back out to center to be repossessed by the Tigers. Tigers lose possession now, and it's picked up by Adamick. Adamick can't bring it into the zone, and it goes right back to RIT. They bring it into the offensive end now, and that cross-ice pass picked off and accelerated away by Eisel. Eisel dumps it into the zone, and it's controlled by the Tigers around behind. RIT looking to break out of their own defensive zone. Now they do so successfully as they'll flip it ahead to the Mountaineer end of the ice, where it's picked up by Stokes, and he tries to swing it around the boards. Now a battle for it. Vermont on the attack, and now it's picked up and taken by Stokes. Stokes controlling, looking to bring it out of his own end. A couple bodies collide and come together. Stokes delivers a bit of a hit after, and the puck goes down and around the boards where it's settled around behind by the Tiger netminder. RIT from their defensive zone. That one closed off by Stokes at the blue line, and back around behind it goes. And Tigers take it back now from their defensive end. They work it ahead to center ice where it's taken by West Virginia in the form of Eisel. Eisel sends it right back into the zone, and West Virginia's forwards will go off for a change. Now it's controlled by Hickey. Hickey looking for a passing lane, and he just flips it ahead where it's taken by the Tigers. RIT through center. They rip it around the boards, and going to retrieve it there is Gukin, where it comes back free for the Tigers, and now turned over, and racing after it there is Sasir. Sasir goes after it, and he takes a big hit into the boards from the Tigers, and RIT regains possession. Now it's worked ahead by the Tigers up through center and into the offensive zone. In on Huff, he settles it down around behind, but the Tigers win the race to it, beating out Hedges. That puck goes up to the blue line for a shot through traffic, and Huff settles it down. So Wyatt, a lot of back and forth play right there. Fast-paced hockey for about 4 whole minutes without a stoppage. As a player, when you have all that time without a stoppage, how do you adjust for that?
Well, hopefully your team isn't taking icing. They can get quick shifts, but the key to stay on the top of your game is make sure you get quick shifts going, because if you're out there for more than a minute, then you're just going to be gassed, and especially at the beginning of the first period, it's not a good look.
Now with it is Virenway. Virenway tries to flip it ahead for Judas, but that pass off the mark, and now it's sent back in and around the boards by the Tigers, and they possess it in the offensive end. It comes back out to center momentarily. The Tigers flip it back in, but a delayed offsides leads to West Virginia possession in the form of Hedges. Hedges looking for that cross-ice long pass, and that's picked off by the Tigers, and they dump it right back in. Hedges retreats back and retrieves the puck. And now it's flipped on over to Viernway. Viernway plays it ahead for Judas. Judas brings it into the zone. This was the line that clicked yesterday. Judas works his way in and takes a shot, and Judas winds up in the goal. Penalty upcoming for West Virginia. Power play upcoming for West Virginia. So Wyatt, that second line there, Viernway, Judas, and Jukas, they just clicked last night. Was that something that the coaches might have realized, beforehand that line was going to explode like that, or did it just kind of happen and now that's a permanent line?
Yeah, so that line got put together at the beginning of this week, and they were looking really good all throughout the week, so coach wanted to give them a chance, and they were on fire yesterday. Baptiste scored his first and second career goals. That was awesome. I think that was the spark we needed last night, especially coming off a loss against RMU. We really needed someone to step up, so that was awesome to watch them get that.
And definitely a very hot line for West Virginia, and this time that line comes on the ice and draws the penalty, allowing West Virginia to take the power play. Now Huff plays it across ice there for Gukin. Gukin with possession from his defensive end, looking to start up the attack. He drops it for Hedges, and Hedges has to retreat. West Virginia stuck in their defensive end here on this power play. Now they look to start the breakout as Gukin goes across for Hedges. Hedges banks one along, looking for Jukas, that off the mark. Gukin back with it now. He slips by one. He gets hooked down to the ice, and that's going to be another penalty upcoming. 5-on-3 for a minute 15 here for West Virginia. So 5-on-3, how often do you guys practice that, Wyatt?
So I'm going to be honest with you, we don't practice a whole lot because usually we're the team that takes all the penalties, so we're working a lot of penalty kill. But it's really nice when you get the 5-on-3 because it's going to tire out those three guys in their team. Like I was talking about earlier, wearing down the team early on is key, especially in the second game of the series. Everyone's a little beat up, everyone's a little tired. So if we can capitalize here, that'll be big.
A big chance here early in the first period for West Virginia. Minute 15 of 5-on-3. That'll follow up with another 45 seconds of power play. Now it's controlled at the blue line, played across for Morris. Morris holds, and he goes back across for Eisel. Eisel back to Morris. Morris thought about shooting it. Now he passes over to Eisel. And a cross-ice feed. And that one deflects aside. Back to Morris at the blue line, who takes a shot through traffic. That puck stays loose and exits the zone back to center. West Virginia looking to reset as that one goes off the stick of Evans and into the zone. And now possessed by Morris in the offensive zone. 35 seconds left to 5-on-3. That puck almost goes too far, but West Virginia able to keep it in the zone. Now they battle for it, looking to work it down low. And it's slapped around the boards where it's stopped by Morris. Morris plays across for Adamick. Adamick takes a shot, looking for that deflection. Got it, but the deflection doesn't go on frame. Now it's cleared on out, all the way down onto Huff. He settles it down and plays it ahead. The long pass, and it's deflected into the zone by Judas. One comes out of the box now for the Tigers. 40 seconds of power play remain for West Virginia. It's controlled by Gukin. Gukin plays it ahead for Morris. Morris works his way into the zone. Morris trying to make his way along the far wall. He's pinned up by two Tiger defenders. And Morris able to pull it free and get possession again. Now that one goes around the boards for Gukin up at the blue line. Gukin plays across where it's held by Avalone. Avalone almost losing it there, and he's able to fork one along where it's picked up by the Tigers with 10 to kill. Now it's dumped back down. Gukin has it in the defensive zone, but that will do it for the West Virginia power play. Now a potential chance for the Tigers, but offsides is whistled, much to the relief of Jacob Huff there. Almost a great chance for RIT. So what did you see that you did and didn't like from those power play opportunities there for West Virginia?
Well, I thought the puck movement was pretty well. We only had 2 shots that entire time, and that's not good, especially with 5-on-3. We should always have at least 2 guys on the puck like that. So hopefully next time the boys can get more shots.
Now the puck controlled by Hedges from his own defensive end. He tries to pass ahead there, looking for Modert, but that off the mark, and picked back up now by Gukin. Now it's played ahead. Batchelor unable to stay with it. And that one deflects up into the air, where it comes down for West Virginia possession momentarily, and it's taken back by RIT. The Tigers swinging around the boards. Huff settles it down around behind, where it's taken back now by Gukin. Gukin plays it ahead for Modert, and Modert accelerates through neutral ice and now into the offensive end. Modert thinks about taking the shot and does, and that one patted aside and goes around behind the net. Battling for it there is Sasir. He goes down hard into the boards, and the puck comes free for Tiger possession. The Tigers play one off the boards, and now it goes down and around into the Mountaineer defensive zone, where it's picked up by Stokes. Stokes plays it ahead for Isel. Isel flipping it, looking for Modert. That one deflects and goes back to the defensive end of the Tigers, where they control now. Now both sides battling for possession in the near side corner in the Mountaineer offensive zone. The puck comes free, where it's taken by the Tigers behind their own net, and they're going to look to break out of their end. Now they flip one up along the boards. It comes free, where it's picked up by Hickey, and Hickey enters the zone, but offsides is called. Adamick just a bit early there. 10:55 remaining in period number one. Still scoreless here in Morgantown. Feels very similar to last game, where the first goal did not come until 3 minutes to go in period number one, coming from the Tigers. West Virginia answering with 30 seconds left in the first, and then exploding in period number two. Adamick dumps that one into the zone, but it's taken back now by the Tigers, and they're going to look to bring it through center. The Tigers accelerating into the offensive end now. That back pass for a one-time shot, and that one deflects wide of Huff. Hickey looking to work it ahead. Now it comes free, where it's taken by Isel. He plays it off now for Stokes. Stokes plays it into the zone off the deflection from Hickey, and it's taken by the Tigers as they rip it around the boards away from Vermont. The Tigers bring it out of their defensive end and into neutral. And RIT flips it in onto Huff. He settles it down, and it's picked up now by Hickey. Hickey from behind his own net. West Virginia making line changes. Now he brings it out, and a pass ahead looking for Vermont. Vermont receives and brings it ahead into the offensive zone, where he swings it around the boards, and it's picked back up by West Virginia. Now a battle for it. I believe that's Viernway battling for it. Now Jukas picks it up. He sends it up to the blue line for Morris, who takes a shot, and that one gets blocked off. Morris tries another one, and that one deflects around. Diving effort there, and the Tiger goalie gets on top of it.
The key to winning the game last night, when they scored that first goal with 3 minutes left, when we answered with 30 seconds left, that was big. You could tell it sucked the energy out of them, because they thought they were going to go in the locker room with a lead. And then when we came out running in the second period, and we put up 3, and then having that lead going to third was big. So hopefully we do that again today.
Yeah, West Virginia taking that lead in the second period. It just seemed like there was going to be no answer from RIT. They were able to pot one early in the third, but that was really the end of the story for them. They just weren't able to put the biscuit in the basket. There, a shot in on Huff, and he makes a great save off a deflection, and some scrumming commencing after the whistle. Yeah, those deflection saves right there, some of the hardest things to do. Huff moving to his left, the puck gets deflected. He snaps back to his right, and he's able to get that right pillow on the puck. Viernway on the draw. He wins it back. Going back to retrieve it is Morris. Morris sends it around the boards, hoping for Barrows. Now the puck battled for along the near wall. And it comes away with Tiger possession up at the blue line. They take a shot through traffic. That one deflects around and doesn't find its way on frame. Morris trying to rip it free. He does so, and it goes cross ice, where it's picked up now by Jukas. Jukas dangles by one, and he brings it into the offensive end. Now he has to slam on the brakes, and he swings it around the boards. There, it's picked up by Judas. He goes around, where it's picked back up by Jukas. Back to the blue line for a shot, and that one goes up and out of play. Hedges looking like he was trying to blame the twig there, huh, Wyatt?
Yeah. He's been working on his shot a lot lately after practice, so when he misses one like that, it's kind of a joke on the team.
Evans on the offensive zone draw for West Virginia. That shot coming in from Hedges, it deflects on frame off the stick of Avalone, and it comes back free where it's taken by the Tigers. The Tigers bring it in, and a great play there from Hedges as he's able to rip it away, and he works it now through neutral ice and dumps it into the offensive end. The Tigers netminder settles it down around behind, and that puck rings around the boards where it's flipped ahead by Ventura. Ventura, he's going to take a penalty there. Looks like interference is the call upcoming on Alex Ventura. He'll head to the box for 2. 8:17 to go in period number 1. Face-off won there by the Tigers. They control it now to start their power play. They work it across the blue line to the top of the face-off circle. A cross-ice feed. That one just off the mark. And now it's battled for around behind the net. And now taken by the Tigers. They swing it back around the boards. And now up to the blue line for a shot blocked by Jukas. And that one doesn't go on goal. Tigers possess. They send it up to the blue line. They control along the far wall, back to the blue line, and now to the opposite circle. Cross-ice pass, and a shot there. That one wide of the net over the head of Huff. That man buried into the boards there by Jukas, and it comes out to center ice, and a good clear out by West Virginia. Tigers with it from their defensive end, looking to set the attack back up. West Virginia's forecheck continuing to force the retreat of the Tigers as we're now past the halfway point of the RIT power play. Tigers bring it into the zone. It's controlled around behind. They send it up to the blue line now. It's possessed at the point. Now it goes down to the near side face-off circle. Trying to get it back up to the blue line, but pressure from Hickey forces it pinned up along the boards. The puck stays along the wall. Now the Tigers take it back. Poke checks and goes back to the blue line for a one-time shot. Huff pads that aside. Now another fight for it along the boards. The Tigers come away with it. And it goes back to the point. There, a shot through traffic. That one going just wide. And a wraparound try. Nets off its moorings. Huff holds it out. Dangerous play there. RIT just about getting one on the power play off that wraparound try. Huff with a good scramble to get to that left post while he was on the right side. Looks like West Virginia's receiving another penalty here. Did you catch what that was for there, Wyatt?
I think I missed it, but the way the ref was gesturing, it looked like Hickey grabbed the other player's face mask and was attempting to pull his helmet off. I think they're going to give him a penalty for that.
That's not a penalty that coaching staff's going to be happy about.
Yep.
A 5-on-3 here for 11 seconds, and then it'll go back to a traditional power play for 49 seconds. Judas takes the draw. It's won by the Tigers. The Tigers control it up at the blue line. Now a cross-ice feed, working it down low. The Tigers just continuing to cycle. There's the shot, deflected, but wide of the net. West Virginia gets one out of the box as Barrows battles for it around behind. It comes free where Morris takes his man into the boards, and he's able to flip it ahead, and it gets out to center ice. RIT setting up now at center ice. They're just looking for space to break into the zone. West Virginia doing a good job of setting up at the blue line, not allowing that zone entry. Now the Tigers finally able to work it in. Huff plays it around the boards. where it comes back free and is picked back up by the Tigers around behind the net. Tigers skate it back up to the blue line, and now they work it back along the far wall. That pass attempt fanned on, and there's going to be a penalty upcoming there to Morris for that hit into the boards. Morris goes away for 2, and now another 5-on-3, this one for 1 minute and 1 second, and then it'll be 59 seconds of power play for RIT. West Virginia putting themselves in a bit of a hole here early, having to kill all of this penalty time off.
Yeah. Not the best idea to take another penalty while you just killed one. Now you're going to be down 5-on-3 for an entire minute right at the end of the first, so everyone's a little tired. So hopefully the boys can kill this one and get out of this hole.
West Virginia going with Gukin, Hedges, and Avalone on this 5-on-3 kill. And this 5-on-3 gets underway with the Tigers winning the draw. They control at the blue line, thinking about shooting it. Now it's passed across. Shooting lane there. That shot gets blocked off. And a rebound try, and right into the pads of Huff. A big save there. The Tigers looking for passing lanes. They just go with a cross ice. D-to-D pass as that shot goes high and wide. The Tigers looking to set back up. Avalone able to work it out of the zone back to center ice. And the Tigers will have to restart this attack. RIT bringing it up through center ice, and now they bring it to the offensive zone. They slow it down now and get everybody in position. And they work it along the point, shot through traffic, rebound opportunity, and that puck comes back free. Huff able to pad all that aside. Now a cross ice feed, and a great play by Huff to get down on top of that one. Unorthodox, but it got the job done. Huff diving on top of it, freezing the puck. 10 seconds remain in the 5-on-3 for RIT. 1:09 remains in the time West Virginia has to kill. Judas winning that faceoff, and it flips up into the air but doesn't make it out of the zone. Tigers controlling now. Cross ice pass, one-time shot, that one going wide. Tigers looking to set things back up. Now it's picked up by Barrows, and he fans on what would have been a good dump-out opportunity. And it comes back free. West Virginia now in a 5-on-4. Tigers controlling it around behind. They look to pass one out in front. A great diving play there by Stokes to block that passing lane as it comes to the near side for a shot. That one patted aside by Huff, and the Tigers continue to try and work it around the zone. They send it back up to the blue line where it's controlled, now to the far side, and that pass mishandled, but it comes back to the point for a shot. That one deflects, rebound try, and it's passed out in front. Huff trying to dive on it, and he pops the glove down on top of that one, holding on for the draw. Some more scrapping after the whistles, and you got to be careful with that. It seems like the refs are going to be calling this game pretty tight.
Yeah, the refs came over to the coaches before the game and basically told them they weren't going to put up with that stuff today. These are the same refs as yesterday, and they kind of let some of that stuff go towards the end of the game. But this is the game, second game of the weekend, and emotions tend to get the best of you these times. So the refs said they weren't going to deal with that today.
Adamick unable to win that draw. That shot coming in through traffic wide of the net. 13 seconds left to kill for West Virginia, and they send it out of the zone. The Tigers might have enough time for one more push if they hurry, but they're not planning on doing that. They'll control it and work back to even strength. West Virginia with a major penalty kill right there. Tigers, they work it back into the offensive zone. There it's picked up and taken by Eisel. Eisel flips it ahead for Vermont, and Vermont works it into the zone. Vermont takes a shot, and that one goes wide and covered up. 3:10 to go in period number 1. So Wyatt, your team kills a penalty, all that penalty time. Does that lead to some momentum on your side?
Yeah, so if we get a couple block shots, obviously the boys, they get pumped up for those. And if we kill something like a 5-on-3 and they only get 2 shots, that's big because, 5-on-3 you're expecting for them to just stay in your zone for a while and just kind of run everything. So that was a big kill, especially going to the third. The boys will be a little tired, but at least it's towards the end of the period, so they'll be able to recover.
West Virginia looking to take advantage of some of that penalty kill momentum there. They play it around the boards. Adamick mishandled that pass, and now it goes up to the blue line for Gukin. Gukin takes a shot. And now it comes free, hopping up over the stick of Hedges, and he retreats back to retrieve. Hedges flipping one for himself, and now he goes cross ice just off the mark for Isel there, and Isel will go and get it. He takes a pretty good shot into the wall, but now it comes free for Adamick, who also takes a big hit. And Tigers came to play physically today. And Tigers looking to work it free from the West Virginia forecheck of Modert. Modert continuing to hassle. And now multiple players coming together. Modert had possession there momentarily, but he gets shoved to the ice, and it's picked back up by the Tigers with 1:50 to go in the first. Now Morris, he plays it ahead. Modert brings it into the zone. He takes a shot. Both sides trying to work it free. It goes to the blue line for Morris. Now it goes cross ice and taken by Barrows. Barrows sends it deep into the zone, but it's taken back by the Tigers, but back to the blue line for Morris. Now Batchelor racing after it. It goes around the boards where it comes back free for Barrows. Barrows look to flip it ahead, but the Tigers take it. And a good hip check there from Judas. Now it's taken by West Virginia. They send it out through center, and it's taken back now by the Tigers. They dump it into the zone, and an icing call on the Tigers upcoming with 55.8 to go in period number 1. West Virginia going with last night's powerhouse line. They got Jukas, Judas, and Viernway on the ice. Stokes and Hickey behind them. And that attempt to dump it back into the zone winds up going into the Tiger bench. Out of play, and we'll have another draw. Face-off won by West Virginia. They play it across ice there, and it's taken by Stokes. Stokes deflects one along, and it goes into the zone. Judas racing after it. Unable to get there was Judas, and it comes back free where it's battled for and picked back up by West Virginia. Mountaineers dump it back in, and racing after it there is Viernway looking to set up some forecheck. RIT deflecting that one off the boards back out to center where it's taken by Stokes. Stokes plays one cross ice, and it's collected by Judas, who just flips it into the zone with 15 to go in the first. Tigers play it around the boards, but turn it over for Stokes. Stokes sends it in deep, and now West Virginia looking to work it out in front, and now a pass out in front of the net, and a couple chances there, but the Tigers able to keep it from getting out in front, and that will do it for period number 1. Wyatt, you got any last thoughts on the first there?
I thought that was a good period, pretty evenly matched. We knew RIT was going to come out hitting because they're a little upset from last night. We just got to stay out of the box, and then this one will be ours.
For Quinn Kuski and Wyatt Murphy, we will be back for the start of period number 2 here at the Morgantown Ice Arena. And we're back for the start of the second period here in Morgantown. Quinn Kuski alongside of West Virginia hockey captain Wyatt Murphy on the call for you here today in Morgantown as West Virginia University takes on the RIT Tigers. We're still scoreless in Morgantown after one as West Virginia brings it up through center ice. Viernway plays it cross ice, looking to get that puck there to Judas. And now it goes back to Viernway. Viernway drops it off, unable to hit the mark on that pass. And the puck comes free, picked up by the Tigers. The Tigers hold it around behind. They possess the puck, looking to work it out in front. And now a battle for it in the corner as Viernway plays it across. And it's accelerated ahead by Jukas. Jukas brings it in. He takes a shot. And that one nearly mishandled. And finally, the Tiger netminder gets a glove on it. And some more rough stuff after the whistle. Definitely some unhappy people sounded like coming from the stands behind us, but they're not wearing zebra stripes, so they don't get to make up the rules.
Yeah, I kind of expected the game to get this way, especially coming at the end of the last game. It was getting really chippy and words were exchanged, so I think we'll see a lot more of that later in the game.
Yeah, I see it a lot in these back-to-backs. Seems like the second game's real chippy after the first one, especially if the first one winds up being even a slightly lopsided game. It gets real bad in the second.
Yep.
West Virginia looking to take the shot. That one goes well high and wide, and that one comes free. A great play by Morris there to hold it in the zone. He takes a shot, and that one covered up and held for a draw. One thing that I noticed up here in the broadcast booth, this ref crew, they've got really quick whistles. There were a couple times they blew it dead and the puck was not covered. Was that something aggravating down on the ice as well?
Yeah, especially yesterday. There was a couple where they blew the whistle and the puck was still loose, which is kind of tough, especially for guys who get most of their goals crashed in net like me. But personally, I think this is the first time we've had these refs this year. Well, second time if you count yesterday. So we're still getting used to them. That's something we also talked about in the locker room because you can kind of manipulate them if you're nice to them.
Yeah, you might get a few extra calls to go your way. Be extra friendly.
Yep.
West Virginia on it right now. Evans drops it back into the corner. That puck comes back free as players battle for it, and it comes away in Tiger possession. RIT able to work it into the zone. They take a shot. That one high on Huff. He's able to jump up and pad that aside. Now a battle for it around behind the net. Morris and Evans looking to rip it free for West Virginia in a 2-on-2 battle. It goes across the net mouth, but unable to get a shot on it there was the Tiger forward. Morris backhands one along as the Tigers regain possession in the offensive zone. That puck loose in the slot. West Virginia able to work it ahead and out to center. And now it's played along and accelerated in by Ventura. Ventura trying to put a move on, unable to make it happen. And away go the Tigers on a counterattack. They bring it into the zone, a pass into the slot, and a shot there. And they score right through the wickets of Huff. And it's 1-0 RIT. You can tell from Huff's reaction there. He knows that's one that he wishes he could have that back.
Yeah, Huff's not usually known for giving up goals like that, so he's definitely upset. But hopefully he'll bounce back because we need him today.
I mean, if you're West Virginia right now, this is how the last game started, down 1-0, and then followed up by 4 unanswered from the Mountaineers. So, a whole lot of hockey still to be played here.
Yep.
Vermont gets taken down to the ice. West Virginia able to keep possession as that pass goes ahead just slightly off the mark as the Tigers cycle it around and look to play it ahead. That pass off the boards. The Tigers play it up through center ice now as they bring it into the zone with a dump in. Retreating back to get it was West Virginia, but the Tigers win the race to it. Now it comes back out to center. West Virginia trying to gain possession. Adamek unable to get to it there as it comes back free, where it's battled for and picked back up by the Tigers. Now it's poked along, both sides duel for it, and it comes off the boards awkwardly and picked up by the Tigers for a quick shot there. That one patted aside, and it comes back out to center, where it's sent right back into the zone by the Tigers. West Virginia looking to work it through center ice, and that one off the stick of Vermont and back in RIT possession. Now West Virginia, they accelerate through center ice, and it's dumped into the zone. Taking a bit of a bump there was Hickey as Adamek goes in behind the net trying to gain possession, but the Tigers take it back. The Tigers accelerating through center now as they bring it into the offensive end. They drop it off and looking to work their way out in front, but West Virginia closes that off nicely and it stays along the boards. Now the Mountaineers able to work it out to center. They try to bring it to Sasir, and they do so successfully. Sasir plays across, nobody home. And now after going off for a change, Vermont tried to dump it in, and it was just a little bit too late as that one's flipped in. And a big play there. I believe that was Stokes who laid that shot. And it comes back out to center, where it's sent back into the zone by the Mountaineers, but the Tigers possess it. The Tigers from center, they backhand one ahead. And into the zone it goes, where it's collected by Hickey. Hickey flips one up high, where it's picked back up by the Tigers at center. And it comes back free for Sasir, who plays it across looking for Batchelor, that off the mark. And now a battle for it at center. The Tigers able to keep it with a back pass. And it goes now around the boards off the dump in, where a big hit is laid by Hickey, and it comes back around, where it's collected now by Hickey. West Virginia had it momentarily there as this puck just continues to cycle back and forth around the boards, and hits continue to happen. Now RIT has a player down. We're going to have a stoppage here off of that hit. There's no call on the hit, but RIT forward that took that shot, he went down hard and he has yet to get back up to his skates. Trainer out there right now checking on the down player for the Tigers. He's kind of propped up on his elbows having a conversation with her. And the Tiger player able to get back onto his skates. Seems to be some tension. I believe I just saw a Tiger player fire his glove into the bench. And this,
they just got a bench minor. RIT did.
You gotta, if tensions weren't high already, I think they just got exponentially increased.
Yeah, like I said earlier, the refs weren't going to tolerate that stuff today, so I'm not surprised that they gave RIT a penalty like that yesterday, and they gave him one today, so they're sticking to their word.
And now if you're West Virginia, huge opportunity here to draw this game back even. You got 2 minutes of power play time. And you got a really emotional Tiger team. It might not be unthinkable that you draw another one here in the process of this power play. That shot comes in, a rebound try, and a big save there. Well played by the Tiger netminder to get that covered up. Avalone on the draw for West Virginia. That's tied up and now taken by the Tigers, and they'll clear it all the way down, or it'll be collected by Gukin from his own defensive end. Gukin bringing it through center. He drops it off, and now it's brought into the zone by Jukas. Jukas swings it around the boards, where it's collected back by RIT, and they'll work it out to center ice. Hedges able to strip that puck away, and now he'll lug it into the zone. Hedges looking for a passing lane, and he passes, splitting two West Virginia players, and Huff able to swing it along up to center ice. Hedges now passing near the blue line, and West Virginia with a nifty entry into the zone for a shot from Jukas. That one going just up over the cage. As now Gukin sends it around the boards for Avalone. And going back to get it there is Judas. Avalone plays it back up along the wall, and he gets it right back, takes a bit of a shot from behind, and he's able to twist it along. Now the Tigers take it back, and they'll rip it back out of the zone. Huff settles it down. Huff playing another long pass. This one taken by Judas. He puts on the brakes right after entering the zone, surrounded by Tiger defensemen, and he's able to block that, or not quite. It finds its way all the way back down to Huff. Huff twisted that along almost dangerously so as the Tigers take it in his own end. But West Virginia now working it ahead on this power play. They still have 15 seconds left, but the Tigers dump it right back down, and very ineffective power play here for West Virginia on this try. Now it's played ahead for Adamick. Adamick trying to enter the zone, unable to do so as we go back to even strength. West Virginia flips that in. It's controlled around behind and played along the boards. Back to the blue line, and just over it, unable to get there in time, was Morris. Evans able to strip that puck away. He has to retreat back as he tries to keep possession of it, and the Tigers take over. They're a battle for it. Shot taken. That one deflects out back to center. And the Tigers have it from their own defensive zone as they look to reset the attack. Now that one played around behind. The Tigers control it behind their own cage, and it's dished ahead, or it's banked off the boards, and the Tigers race after it, and they pick it up in the offensive zone. They take a shot there. Huff able to pad that aside. Rebound still loose, and it comes back free for West Virginia to accelerate ahead on the counterattack. They bring it into the zone. Drop pass there for Ventura. He goes across for Adamick with a chance, and a big save from the Tigers, and maybe the best chance of the game right there for West Virginia. Seems like anytime there's a whistle, there's some scrapping going on after it. Yeah. And that just took a penalty.
It's like number 23 is going to get kicked out of the game.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, just taking him down like that's bad enough, but then the slash afterwards, that really, that sealed it.
Let's see what the refs call here, because it looks like we also took a penalty.
Probably get, I'm gonna guess here, we get a 5-minute major from them, 2-minute minor from us. We'll go to 4 on 4 for 2 minutes, and then power play for 3 minutes for West Virginia. See, when Max was up here calling, there's one thing that I could count on. It's that he did not know the rules and did not know what the penalties were about to be.
Yeah, I mean, that number 23 for RIT is going to get a 5-minute game for sure.
Yep.
Likely for roughing or unsportsmanlike misconduct. And I didn't see who went in for West Virginia, but likely also be a roughing for 2 minutes. Well, we'll see here when captains find out.
And my guess would be that 2-minute roughing will come from everything after the dump and the slash.
Yep.
When the entire team of West Virginia ganged up on that one guy.
Yep.
I don't know what Evans said to him there as he was skating away, but apparently he wasn't too happy with it. Hey, that's a good thing to have on your team. You have a guy who can chirp somebody and get in his head enough to get him ejected from the game.
Yeah, and Evans was able to keep his head there, so we didn't take 2 penalties, so we just got 1, which is nice.
And a lot of explaining going on in the box there, in the scoring box. Waiting to see what winds up on the board. Yeah, 2-minute minor for West Virginia on the board right now. 7 minutes on the board for RIT. Maybe that's supposed to be a 5 and a 2?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the refs want to have someone serve the 2 minute first, and then the 5 minutes he's gonna stay in the box, and then he's gonna be sent out.
Maybe. I can say that's probably the first time I've ever seen a 7-minute penalty on a scoreboard.
Yeah.
It looks like after the 4-on-4, West Virginia is going to be getting the full 5 minutes of the major penalty.
Yep.
I mean, that's a huge chance. I mean, you score a couple on that, that's going to be game-changing here and a huge momentum swing for West Virginia. I just saw Vermont step into the box there.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm not even 100% sure Vermont was on the ice during all of that.
Yeah, I think. I don't think he was, but I think the refs probably just asked for someone to serve a penalty. And I can't tell if he's the only one in the box or not.
I mean, I guess when you have it, when the penalty's on pretty much the entire team, you can't call it on one guy.
Yeah.
Still players stepping into the penalty box right now as everything's getting sorted out, and it looks like we're ready to go here. Back to hockey in Morgantown. 4-on-4 for the next 2, and then a 5-minute major power play for West Virginia. Tigers controlling to start this 4-on-4. That one takes an awkward bounce off a skate. Isel accelerating, looking to get to it. Now a good change of direction there to get by Avalon, and the Tigers bring it into the offensive end. There's a shot that goes right across the net mouth, and West Virginia sends it back out of the zone. That one will go all the way down for what should and will be an icing. You got to appreciate Isel's hustle there. Just about won that race to cancel out the icing.
Yep.
Defensive zone draw for West Virginia. They're able to win the faceoff over to Gukin. Gukin tries to play one off the boards to himself. That pass chipped away. But West Virginia back with it now. There they have a man go down to the ice. And it's picked up now by Hedges. Hedges passing ahead, and West Virginia bringing it into the offensive end. They're trying to put a move on was Isel, but it's stripped off of his stick. And now away come the Tigers in on a breakaway, and that's a shot and a huge save from Huff. 4-on-4, you're going to see a bit more of that, a lot more open space, and the Tigers able to slip by for a big opportunity. With 11:20 to go in the second, Huff with the bigger save. Face-off won by the Tigers. They chip it around the boards. Trying to play it there was Morris, and he's able to flip it ahead where it's brought ahead by West Virginia. Judas trying to make a move by. Jukas almost able to come by and keep possession for the Mountaineers, but it is taken now by the Tigers. 40 seconds left in 4-on-4 play. And the Tigers take a shot. That one up off the blocker of Huff and behind the net. And it's dueled for and taken now by Morris. Morris plays it along for Jukas. Jukas goes cross ice, and West Virginia brings it ahead. Coming into the zone now is Adamick. Adamick around behind with it. He plays it for Judas, and Judas goes back to Adamick, who is still on the ice. He gets back up and tries to play it, but the Tigers take possession and they bring it ahead. Now Jukas able to strip the Tigers of the puck, and it is officially a power play for West Virginia now for the next 5 minutes. Morris with it for the Mountaineers. Mountaineers trail 1-0, but a big power play opportunity here that could allow them to at least even the game and possibly even take the lead. West Virginia unable to enter the zone. The Tigers send it right back down, and Morris will go to retrieve. Morris taken down to the ice, and now a battle for the puck right behind Huff. He watches it intently. As Morris pins a man up against the boards in the corner, that guy goes down to the ice, and away come the Mountaineers. West Virginia with a 3-on-2 developing here. As it's brought in by Adamick, he drops it off, and a shot opportunity, rebound loose, and it is sent into the corner. Now it's battled for right along the blue lines, as it's poked ahead there by Mohart, and Mohart brings it into the zone now. And he drops it off. Out in front there for Avalon. Out to the point. And right from the slot there, a good chance, but unable to pull the trigger was Adamick. It goes around behind the net. Mohart accelerating after it, and it's flipped out before he could get to it, and it goes all the way down to be settled by Morris. 3:35 still to go in the West Virginia power play. And they'll look to set something up. Mountaineers bring it into the zone now. Avalon takes a shot. That one hitting the netminder awkwardly. You can see him trying to shake that one off right after taking that shot, but the Tigers able to bring it out of the zone. There, a shot in on Huff. He covers it up and holds for a draw. Now, if you see a netminder there, the Tiger netminder, he took that shot kind of up in the neck area. You can see him kind of trying to shake it out immediately after taking it. If you're West Virginia, you got to hustle for that rebound. Try to get another shot on him right away while he's still a little shaken up.
Yeah, especially when we still have 3 minutes left in this power play. Really need a goal here, especially if the goalie's shaken up. It's a good opportunity to pop a quick one.
Now West Virginia bringing it ahead. With it there is Judas. Judas puts on the brakes. He plays it ahead. And for Avalon, who takes a shot and a big save there and held on to for a draw. Those are the chances you want to develop on the power play. Great find by Judas to hit Avalon streaking into the slot, and a big save from the RIT netminder. Avalon on the draw for West Virginia. Face off down. And now a pin up along the boards as both sides try to pull it away. That puck flips up high off the glass. And West Virginia able to regain possession as it's picked up now by Hedges. Hedges goes across for Gukin. And Gukin just rips it in to the zone where it's settled down by the RIT netminder. And all the way back down the ice it will go for Huff to settle. Still 2:20 to go in the West Virginia power play. And that lead pass for Judas is off the mark. A little bit of a collision with the referee as West Virginia tries to re-enter the zone, and the puck winds up all the way back down where Jukas will get it. West Virginia looking to start up an attack here as that one's passed ahead for Jukas. Jukas dumps it in and around the boards. Going after it, there's Avalon. It deflects aside. West Virginia trying to pinch forward there was Gukin, but it exits the zone back out to center where Hedges retrieves. Jukas now goes across for Gukin. Gukin brings it into the zone. He puts on the brakes, takes a shot, and that one goes wide. Jukas backhands one back around the boards, where it's out of the reach of Evans, and around it goes for Gukin to settle. Gukin from the point goes across for Hedges. Hedges down low for Jukas. Jukas controlling. He goes back to Hedges. Hedges with a shot through traffic. It finds its way through, and holding on for a draw there is the Tiger netminder. Still 1:17 left in the West Virginia power play. Plenty of time to get one here. I think getting 2 at this point is just about out of the question, but you can still draw even in this one. Adamick on the face-off. This one over to Mohart. Mohart trying to pull it free, and it goes back to the blue line. Now across from Morris. Morris winds up and lets one go, and there was a slap pass there. Completely caught the netminder off guard, and a rebound draw, and it's buried! Alex Evans puts it home, and West Virginia takes the goal, and they tie it up at 1 apiece with still a minute remaining on the major penalty.
Yeah, that was a huge goal. I still have a minute left in the power play. RIT's looking really tired. Evan should have buried that one earlier, but glad he finally got that second chance. Even if it was a trickler through the 5-hole, they don't ask how, they ask how many.
And it all starts when Morris wound up like he was going to take that slap shot and went with a slap pass, and it immediately put the Tiger netminder into scramble mode. And by the time he had readjusted, Evans had already pulled the trigger on another opportunity, and it went right through the wickets. Tie game. West Virginia ices that one right off of the draw, and it'll come all the way back to their defensive end. Still 53 seconds on the power play for the Mountaineers. Face-off one over to Morris. Morris holding around behind his own net. And now he plays it ahead. That pass deflected by the Tigers. And all the way down it goes. Played around the boards. Trying to get to it there is Evans, and it comes up to the blue line for Morris. Morris trying to play that down low for Evans. That pass gets deflected away by the Tigers and all the way back down to the stick of Huff. Now it's played ahead by the Mountaineers. Still 15 seconds on the power play. That shot in by Adamick, patted aside, and the rebound taken and sent all the way down by the Tigers. Huff drops one off for Morris. Morris plays across. There it's taken by Hedges. Back to even strength now in Morgantown. 5:15 to go in period number 2. Hedges brings it in. He takes a shot. That one catches glass. Rebound tried to bank it off the back of the Tiger netminder, but he hit the side of the cage first. And now away comes RIT. That shot fanned on, and another passing attempt there, and the puck winds up around behind. Jukas trying to chip one up along the boards. He works it free, and racing after it there is Hedges. Hedges bringing it in. He's got Judas with him. His pass across doesn't work, and there trying to get a shot on was Viernway, and it goes up deflecting, catching the netting, and out of play. .447 to go in period number 2. Offensive zone draw on the blocker side of the Tiger netminder. Won by Viernway. Back to the blue line for a shot, and a good fire there from Hedges, but patted aside. Viernway sends it around behind. Going after it there is Jukas. Jukas able to pull it free, and he possesses, sends it back around the boards. Nobody home except for the Tigers, and they control from their defensive end. The Tigers play it all the way down, and it will be touched up by Gukin. Icing is the call, and another whistle. Evans on the draw here in the West Virginia offensive end. This face-off won by the Tigers. They play it around the boards. Getting to it there was Hickey, and he's pressured and almost loses possession, and now he does. Mountaineers trying to get it there in their offensive end. And a monster hit there from Hickey, laying a man out in open ice. And West Virginia takes back possession off the strength of that hit. With it there is Avalone. He plays it ahead. Now it's dumped in high and catching glass, just about sending it out of play there, but well done by Evans. The Tigers play it up to center ice, and they lug it through into the offensive end. That puck battled for and picked back up by the Mountaineers. They slam on the brakes, and it goes around boards, where it's taken back by the Tigers, and it re-enters the West Virginia defensive end, taken by Hickey. Hickey from behind his own cage, passes ahead for Batchelor. Batchelor dispossessed of the puck, and it goes back to the blue line for a shot, where it catches glass. The Tigers looking to play that one along. And it's taken back by RIT. They re-enter the offensive end, looking for a shooting lane. There's the shot, that one high and wide. but the rebound comes back free for the Tigers to send it back around the boards where it's taken by Hickey. Now it's sent all the way down, this one on frame, and played by the Tiger netminder. Now with it is Mohart. Mohart looking to work his way free, and he does so, sending it up to the point, wristed in on frame, and now Vermont has it. Vermont tries a sharp angle shot, that one blocked off. Vermont sends it up to the blue line for Barrows. Now that deflects off the boards, and it's taken back by Saucier. Saucier goes out to Morris, and now back down low for Saucier. Sharp angle shot, that one easily deflected aside. And Saucier sends it back up to the blue line for Morris. He tries a deflection play, looking to hit the stick of Vermont, does so, but it doesn't go on frame. Vermont able to hold it in the zone there momentarily, now forced to retreat, and West Virginia looks to restart their attack. That one comes all the way down, and it will be an icing with 1:55 to go in period number 2. Face-off upcoming on the glove side of Jacob Huff. This draw won by the Tigers, but Vermont comes over and steals it, and now passes ahead, looking for, I believe that's Mohart there, but Mohart unable to get it as that puck took a deflection mid-pass. Now played along by Morris. Looking to hit Mohart again there, but again the pass gets deflected in transit. Now winding up around behind again on the stick of Morris, 1.5 to go in the second. Mohart tries to slip by one, he gets it out to center, but the Tigers take it back from their defensive zone. Now the puck going all the way down. Morris will touch up, and an icing on the Tigers this time with 1:18 to go in period number 2. West Virginia bringing out the Viernway, Judas, and Jukas line here with 1:18 to go in the second. On the draw there is Judas. He wins it back, but accelerating and getting to it first were the Tigers. Now it's battled for and picked up at center ice by Hedges, who dumps it into the corner, and around the boards it goes where the Tigers will get to it first. Viernway able to make a play on that puck, but unable to gain possession as it comes back out to the blue line, but held in the zone, and a good chance there trying to get a deflection was Gukin, and it comes back in all the way back where it's taken by Hedges. Hedges plays it cross ice, and offsides is called on Judas. I thought Judas had gotten back across that blue line before he received that pass, but referee has a better angle of it than I do.
Yep.
Defensive zone draw upcoming here for West Virginia, and it's taken by Hedges. Hedges swings it around looking for Gukin, and now Gukin with a long lead pass and just off of the mark there, trying to hit Jukas. Now bringing it in is Judas. Judas looks to bring it through the legs, does so, drops it back, and it's back to the blue line there. Trying to get to it was Hedges, but it's taken back now by the Tigers, and they bring it into the zone with 20 to go. Backhanding that one away was Viernway, and it goes around the boards where Gukin gets to it first, and he continues to swing it around the boards where it's battled for, and a shot and a good chance there off the one-timer, but it doesn't go on frame, and back out to center it goes with 5 ticks left in period number 2. Chipped up along the boards, and the Tigers will take it to intermission. All even in Morgantown after 2. 1-1 is your score. Wyatt, last thoughts on the period?
I thought that was a lot better period. I think the power play was big too, especially because you could tell where it wore down their team. As long as we keep the momentum going into the third, get a couple of goals, this one will be easy.
And from an officiating standpoint, the scrummy stuff after the whistle cleared up real quick after a few penalties are dished out, including a 5-minute major.
Yeah, and I expect a lot more of that in the third period too. I don't think the chippiness is going to go away, especially in the third period with a tie game.
Yeah, so more to watch for here in Morgantown. We'll be back for the start of the third period from Morgantown Ice Arena on the West Virginia Hockey Network. And we're back for the start of period number 3 here in Morgantown. Quinn Kuski alongside of Wyatt Murphy. Wyatt, you got some inside intel for us there in the locker room at the end of period number 2 about what Evans said to anger number 23 for RIT so much. What was it that he said?
Yeah, so I didn't notice at the time, but it was the same player who was down on the ice in the far corner, and Evans asked him if he was still hurt, and then the kid just kind of went off and punched him in the face and slashed him. So apparently he didn't like asking if he was okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Evans was just looking after his well-being. That's all that was. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, I also heard that that same player, when the trainers went out, that he was saying a couple curse words to him, that he didn't want the trainers out at all. So,
I mean, that's the trainers are just trying to do their job. I mean, you're down on the ice, not moving. The trainers are coming out.
Yeah.
Evans now bringing it into the zone, and it's cycled around, looking for Barrows there. Barrows plays that along, and Evans tries to retrieve. Now it's flipped back for him, and he sends it back to the blue line for Barrows. Barrows turns it over, and it's sent all the way back down the ice for an icing. And something that I don't think either of us noticed up here, Ventura looked like he received a 10-minute, but not a game, but he was in the box. According to, I got some friends sitting down on the glass, they said 88, which is Ventura was sitting in the box for quite a while there in the second. So
yeah, so I didn't notice it, but he got a 2 and a 10 for the same incident when he stepped up for Evans, and then the 2-minute was served by Vermont.
Okay, so there's why we saw Vermont go into the box as well. It's all kind of finally getting pieced together here. Vermont now retrieving that puck in the corner. He sends it around the boards looking for Isel. And it's played ahead for RIT. The Tigers cycle it back into their defensive zone. And it's just held around behind as they're looking to start the breakout. And they play it up to center. Vermont gains possession there. He gets dumped to the ice. And it's taken now by Adamick. Adamick pinned up along the boards, and it's taken by the Tigers now. That shot blocked by Morris. Twisted around out in front of Reed, and a good chance from the slot. That one blocked off as well. Adamick playing it across for Isel. Isel with speed coming in, and he's just unable to get a good shot off there. That puck just got a little bit too far ahead of him. Stokes lets a blast go, and that one into the glove and held for a face-off. Offensive zone draw for West Virginia. They send back into neutral territory, where it's picked up now by Stokes. Stokes plays it ahead, racing after it. There's Sasir. It drifts around behind. And now taken by RIT. The Tigers flip one into the zone. Huff tries to settle it down, and now a chance to send one out into the slot. That blocked off by Stokes, and now taken by Batchelor. This puck battled for in the corner. And now it comes into the opposite corner, where it's battled for by Hickey. Hickey unable to gain possession there. The Tigers keep it. Hickey continuing to pressure, and a penalty upcoming as some rough stuff's going on in the corner. Wyatt, can you see who it is down there?
It's Stokes, and the reason why it started is that the RIT player got knocked over by Stokes on a big hit. And as Stokes trying to skate away, the kid grabbed his leg and tried to flip him, and Stokes didn't like that.
Well, you were correct. This game has stayed chippy going into period number 3. I was worried Stokes, when I saw him come up with his helmet off, I was worried we might be seeing Stokes leaving the game.
It looks like it's going to be 4-on-4.
Probably just send 2 going both ways, or do you maybe just have them be offsetting minors, have them both serve their pair of minutes and leave at 5s?
Yep.
Well, folks, for you watching at home, this might be a really long 20-minute period. That's what we're getting into just 3.5 minutes in. Who knows where this period might wind up going from here. Vermont just stepped into the box again. Looks like he's serving something else. So we are going to go to 4-on-4 here. Isel on the draw. He wins it back cleanly for Hedges. Hedges sends it round boards for Isel, and Isel sends it up through the middle of the ice. He's looking for Gukin there. That pass just a little bit too far ahead of him, and it winds up in Tiger possession. Now the Tigers from their defensive end. They bring it up to the offensive third. Now into the slot, looking to take a shot, but hassling the whole way is Isel. And now it goes back to the blue line, and they score. A shot from the point finds its way to the upper left corner, past Huff. He was screened, couldn't see it till it was by him, and it's 2-1 RIT.
That's a tough goal to give up. I don't think Huff saw that one at all. I think he was screened by his own player.
There were a couple bodies sitting right in front of that blue paint. Huff unable to get a track on that puck. And a well-placed shot from the Tiger defenseman as well, putting it right up in that top left corner. Morris dumps that one into the zone. Going after it there and losing an edge to West Virginia, and it's taken by the Tigers. Judas stepping up, trying to gain possession. Now Morris does get possession for the Mountaineers at center. He passes across for Barrows. Barrows plays it ahead for Judas. Judas trying to work his way into the offensive end. And now the puck around behind, and a battle for it commences. Back at the blue line, Barrows flips it back into the corner, and the Tigers take it. And they almost get it out to center, but Barrows with a good play there soccers it along. Now it's banked off the glass. This one does make it out to center, and the Tigers take possession into the offensive end. They play it ahead for Judas, and it's now taken by Morris. Morris brings it into the zone. He takes a shot. That one goes wide. And the Tigers take back possession from their own defensive end. A good pass attempt there, but just off of the mark on what could have been a good chance for the Tigers. Now it's taken by Morris. Morris working his way ahead, looking for passing options. He decides to just dump it into the zone, and after it goes Ventura. Ventura almost wins the race to that one, but the Tigers get to it first, and they take possession from their own defensive end, looking to break out to center. Ventura applying some forecheck there, and he's unable to gain possession. We go back to 5-on-5 now. And away come the Tigers through center ice and now into the offensive end. RIT bringing it to the far corner. There it's picked off and taken by Max Hedges. Hedges plays it ahead, and all the way down it goes, where it's taken back by the Tigers. RIT from their defensive end looking to work it out. Hedges lets a bomb go, and he catches glass and up out of play. West Virginia leaving the same line out on the ice. Hedges and Gukin up at the blue line. Evans on the draw. Offensive zone face-off. Won by the Tigers. RIT brings it out to center. Gukin able to poke check that along. Evans coming away with it as well, and that one dumped in, but a delayed offsides on West Virginia. And they'll touch up now. But the Tigers have possession. They send it back out to center, where it's taken by Gukin. Gukin finds Hedges. Hedges goes cross ice. That one nicely chopped down by the Tigers at center ice. And now Evans flips one ahead off the boards, but the Tigers take it back. RIT through center, turns it over to Gukin. Gukin tries to hit Avalone on the bank pass, finds Ventura instead, who flips it into the offensive end for West Virginia, but it's taken by the Tigers there. RIT works it out to center. They send it in on Huff. He settles it down and plays it off for Gukin. Gukin gets after it, both sides battling for it now. And it comes free into the slot for a spin-around shot, and Huff able to get a glove on that. That one deflected a couple times and kind of fluttered its way in. Kind of awkward save for Huff. And now here come the Tigers again. Wind up with a bomb, and it goes just wide. That one stopped right at the blue line and sent back into the zone. Around the boards it goes. Gukin trying to get after it. Tigers win the race. That one played out into the slot. Avalone, the only one there. He picks it off but turns it right back over to RIT. Huff settles it down with a nice play, batting it out of the air, and it's played off for Isel. Isel goes cross ice, trying to get to it as Adamick, and he's knocked off the puck, and it's dumped in by West Virginia, where the Tigers will go back and retrieve from their defensive end. RIT from behind their own net, now they bring it ahead. And it's walked up through center and sent around the boards, where it's settled down around behind by Huff. Now played ahead for Morris. Morris goes up right along the boards looking for Vermont. Turned over now. And a quick shot, and Huff with a big save there off the turnover, keeping this at a one-goal game, and he'll hold on for a draw. Those are the clutch saves you need at this point in the game. West Virginia comes back and ties it. You got to remember that one right there. Morris trying to send it out of the zone. It's battled for right along the blue line. Now it comes free right across the blue line to still in the defensive zone. Batchelor retreats back with it. Batchelor plays it across for Morris. Morris flips it ahead. Batchelor extends out and he receives it. Batchelor dumps it into the zone. He goes after it himself. That puck going back around the boards. This time Cecere going after it. He lays a bit of a hit on. And it comes free back to the blue line for Hickey. He takes a shot, and that one up high. Not quite finding its way on. Rebound chance for West Virginia, and it deflects out to the far wall, where it comes back to the point to be picked up by the Tigers. Diving effort there from Mohart sends it back all the way down behind the cage of the Tigers. West Virginia makes changes. RIT just holding it around behind. They'll sit here as long as the Mountaineers will let them. Now it's passed out, turned over to Morris, and he brings it into the zone. Morris winds up and lets one go up off the blocker of the Tiger netminder. Now it's battled for along the far wall. And the puck goes around the boards, trying to get to it there. Is Virenway. They continue to battle for it. To a side, right in the corner, as they try to rip that puck free, and on one side start a breakout, on the other side start an attack. Now the puck does come free, and it's sent out to the blue line. Nicely held right at the blue line, but it works its way over. And retreating back and getting it is Virenway. Virenway sends it around the boards, and now receives it right back. He holds behind his own cage. Now Virenway plays it ahead for Hickey. Hickey accelerating through center, and he brings it into the offensive end where he'll dump it around the boards. Hickey retrieves his own dump in. And getting to it there is Judas. Judas trying to play it along. And the puck comes free where it's picked back up by the Tigers. And the Tigers bring it up through center and into the offensive end now. There, a shot blocked by Hedges, and it deflects off the boards. And it's played around behind in the corner where it comes free for Ventura, who can't quite get a stick on it. And it bounces all the way back out to center ice where the Tigers repossess it. Now it's picked off by Evans, and the Tigers immediately poke check him and take it right back and drop it to the blue line. There, a shot through traffic. That one takes a deflection up into the air and over the cage. And Mountaineers are able to play it all the way down for what will be an icing. This could be a dangerous play here, Wyatt. You got some guys, they've been on the ice for a little bit, especially in the case of Hickey. He's been on the ice now for almost 2 full shifts, hasn't been able to get off for Gukin, so he's been playing with Hedges.
Yeah, I think the face-off plan is just going to win this one and get out of the zone and get a quick change.
West Virginia does win the draw, and they do get it out of the zone, and away comes Hedges with it. Gukin subs onto the ice now for the exhausted Hickey. Gukin able to poke check that along, and it's taken back now by Ventura. Ventura tries to backhand one over for Avalone, but that pass deflects up and out of his reach. Now Avalone has it. He looks to settle it down, and he has to duck by one and sends it around behind. Unable to handle that pass there was Ventura, and it comes back and all the way down for what will be an icing if Gukin can win the race, and they rule he does. Icing is the call. Adamek on the draw for West Virginia. This face-off won by RIT. Tigers possess now at center ice. Hassled by 4 West Virginia players, though, as they try to pull it off these boards. That was a bit of a dangerous cross-check in the boards. West Virginia might have gotten away with one there, but they bring it into the offensive end. Hedges spins one across the net mouth, but Tigers players get to it first, and they send it back out to center, where Gukin retreats to pick it up. Gukin dishes it ahead, and there it's taken and played ahead. Trying to work it forward there was West Virginia and Adamek. And it winds up in the offensive zone for Gukin to take a shot. That one on frame and patted aside. The Tigers from their defensive zone, they work to work it ahead. There it's turned over, and almost a great move by there. West Virginia unable to hold on to it. Now a delayed offsides on the Mountaineers, so they'll come back and touch up, get back on sides. And a stoppage in play due to the West Virginia offsides. Sasir on the draw for West Virginia. Defensive zone draw, blocker side of Huff. This face-off taken by Sasir. He plays across from Modert, and that pass attempt for Batchelor he was unable to handle. Now it's settled down around behind by Morris. Morris plays it off there for Barrows. Barrows lays it off for Batchelor. Batchelor turns it over, but now it's picked back up by Sasir. Sasir plays it across for Mohart. Mohart unable to pull the trigger on what could have been a good shooting opportunity. And now it's played back ahead by Morris, but stolen by the Tigers. Now the Tigers working it down low. They take a shot and a good save there from Huff. That puck going past Batchelor there. He was unable to get a stick on it. It was a kind of choked him up a little bit. Now a shot in, and Huff covers it up. Well, we've been talking about quick whistles. That was a pretty long one. I don't know if the refs didn't realize that Huff had his glove down on the puck, or what happened there.
I think the ref was yelling at Huff to try and get the game moving. There's 6 minutes left, I'm not really sure.
Now with it is Gukin. Gukin plays it ahead, looking for Viernway there. Viernway loses an edge. Hedge is able to send it away, and it's picked back up now by Jukas. Jukas skates right past the puck, and he circles back to retrieve it, but it's turned over to the Tigers. Oh, almost with a good interception there was Judas, but the Tigers able to hustle and stay with it. And we have a stoppage in play there. I believe was West Virginia offsides there?
It looks like it was offsides.
And on this offsides, they're going to come all the way back to the defensive zone, which I believe means they're ruling an intentional offsides there, correct?
Yeah, so I'm not sure. It should be just outside the blue line on that one. I'm not sure why they're coming all the way down, but they've been doing that the whole game, where they just every offsides. If they think it's even close, they're just going to send it all the way.
And another kind of later whistle, as the referees were hoping that Huff would play that one. Me and Max, we have a bit of a theory that when the ref's trying to get the game moving like that, it's because he's got a hot date and he's worried about being late.
Yeah, I mean, even last night they were trying to speed the game up because we started late, and I think they just want to go home at this point.
Oh, yeah. I mean, back-to-back games with a 15-minute delay on the start time. That shot going in on Huff, he deflects it up out of play. I mean, maybe they've got reservations somewhere, you know.
Yeah, who knows?
Got places to be. That puck drop won by the Tigers. They take a shot. That one goes wide. Tigers stay with it, though. From the near corner, they twist it around behind, and a pass out in front misses everybody and goes all the way down. Tigers forced to retreat all the way back to their own defensive end. West Virginia makes line changes, and they bring in a forecheck. West Virginia with it at center ice. That one backhanded along by Evans. And Avalone unable to play it. Now the puck goes back across the ice where it's played by the Tigers. Stopped at the blue line by Morris. He sends it around the boards. The Tigers with it now at center. They bring it back into the offensive zone. That one deflects in around the boards where it's taken now by Hickey. Hickey tries the long lead pass and it's off the mark. But with a player losing an edge, able to gain possession there is Ventura. He sends it along now for Avalone. Avalone slams on the brakes and looks for options. Evans trying to find a lane to send one out in front. There, it's a backhand try and a scramble out in front of the net, and coming away with it was RIT. Now the Tigers, they bring it into the offensive end, where it's picked back up by West Virginia and lugged ahead by Avalone. Avalone into the zone. He takes a shot, and that one's snared in the trapper and held for a draw. So Wyatt, does Coach Buckley usually have a time point where he decides to pull the goalie if they're down by one?
He doesn't really have a set time. I mean, we haven't had a whole lot of options where we've needed to pull our goalie, which is nice. But my guess is he's going to pull it around the 1:45 mark, since we have been playing pretty well this period, and once we get possession, then we'll have 5-on-6. So my guess is going to be around 1:45. But there's also an opportunity he might just leave him out there and be confident the guys are going to score a 5-on-5.
Guess we'll see what happens, making sure to keep an eye on the netminder as RIT looks to wrap one around out in front, and a big play there from the West Virginia defense to prevent that from being a chance on goal. Isel dumps it in. That one goes near corner and now swings around the boards where it's picked up by Gukin. Gukin shoots one and looking for the deflection, and a great chance there. Isel unable to put it on frame. Isel works it back up to Gukin at the blue line. He winds up and lets it go, and that one catches glass. A shot in from Hedges, and that one goes just wide. Gukin holds it at the blue line, trying to keep it in the zone right now. And it squirts its way out to center, where it's picked up now by Hedges. Hedges passes ahead, and that one's flipped into the zone by Gukin. Now controlled by the Tigers. They bring it up ahead through center, and they'll dump it into the zone. Around the boards it goes, where it's settled down by Huff and picked up by Gukin. Gukin looking for options. He passes ahead. No one there on that pass. Now it comes back down. Morris. The guy slips by him, and the Tigers collect it now, and they'll put one out into the slot for a turnaround shot, and that one blocked by Judas. Gukin flips one ahead, that one off of the skate of Judas, and another turnaround shot. This one winds up on frame, rebound loose, and a couple chances there patted aside by Huff. Now into the slot once more, and another shot, and Huff with a big save there with the glove, as that one was labeled for a corner. Now Gukin rips one hard off the boards, and he's able to get it out as far as center, but the Tigers take it back. 1:45 to go in period number 3. That shot comes in and deflected aside by Huff. Evans plays it ahead looking for Jukas. Now Judas, he has it stripped off of his stick. And back with it now is RIT. They send it down, settled by Huff, and Evans retrieves. 1.5 to go in period number 3. That puck flips up over the stick of Judas, and back around it goes. Morris settles, and Huff gives him a helping hand. West Virginia trying the bank pass. RIT intercepts that, and they bring it back into the zone. Now with it is Judas, and Judas comes racing away. Huff wanted to go right there, but it's turned back over to the Tigers. He has to stay in the net. Barrows deflects that along. Morris collects now, and it back into the zone come the Tigers. 50 seconds to go in regulation time. Into the slot. That shot looking for a deflection off the mark, but the Tigers stay with it. Back to the point. They wind up, let one go, and that one now lands on the back of the net. Barrows soccers it to his stick, and it's played ahead for Avalone. Avalone racing through center ice and into the offensive zone. There goes Huff. Net empty, 30 seconds to go. Avalone around behind. West Virginia looking to pass one out in front. That one deflects up off the glass. Glove down there by Barrows. And it comes all the way back to the West Virginia defensive end. They got 15 seconds. Morris tries to fire one long. He connects on that pass, and into the zone comes Ventura. Ventura loses it off of his stick, but it stays in the zone for Avalone to try and dump one ahead. And they're going to rule that puck deflected up off the ceiling. Offensive zone draw for West Virginia. 3.5 seconds to go in the third.
My guess is that Coach Buckley is going to put his top line out there. I think they're going to put the blue line out there with Judas, and Verniev. And I think he's probably going to go with Hedges and Gukin, and they're probably just going to leave one D back in line. Everyone else in front of the net, and hopefully just take a shot off the face-off.
That's about all you really have time for here. Maybe look to play for that deflection, get a winger out in front of the net as fast as you can, try to tip one in.
Yep.
Vernway's been good on the draws so far tonight. West Virginia calling a timeout, drawing up, Coach Buckley drawing up the play right now. Looks like I see Judas, Jukas, Avalone, Isel, Gukin, and Hedges. Avalone going to take the draw. 3.5 left. It's tied up, and it goes all the way down, and that will do it. RIT coming away victorious 2-1 in the second game of the series today. A hard-fought game. You got any final thoughts on this one here, Matt or Wyatt?
I thought it was a good battle. RT got a couple lucky goals. Huff played a really good game. I think if we would stay out of the box, we could have had a couple more goals. But other than that, not a horrible loss. We did split the series. I think RIT was expecting to come in and sweep, so it's nice to steal a game.
And if you want to go by aggregate, it is a win on the weekend for West Virginia. So, all in all, not too bad for West Virginia today. They go home, splitting this series, a 2-1 loss today. For Quinn Kuski alongside of Wyatt and Murphy, that'll do it for us tonight. So long, and let's go Mountaineers.